All of us in the Bujinkan seek to be strong fighters, but what happens when you drop the strength from your technique? Hello, my name is Michael Glenn, and in this episode of the Dojo Show, we will explore what Hatsumi Sensei calls chikara o nuku, using the kata Ura Goho, and we will see what happens when you drop the strength from your technique and the opponent ends up defeating himself. The first kata we did was Goho, and now the next one is Ura Goho. Okay, some of you have done this one with me already, so it's gonna be review, but we're gonna look at some of the finer points of it tonight as we go. Okay, so Ura Goho, you start off here in Hira, and then you start your Bofurigata. Okay, so from the Bofurigata, I thrust, come to kasumi here, scooping up, drop down to strike him in the head. Okay, once more. So I'm doing Bofuri here, and then I thrust, he blocks. I strike to kasumi, he blocks that. I strike up under kote here, and then drop down to strike him in the head. So again, Bofuri, thrust. Kasumi. This strikes up under kote, and then you strike him in the head. How about there, James? We're doing the shiho. So Bofuri here, thrust into kasumi, up, strike him in the head there. You guys remember these steps? Roughly?
This is pretty fresh. Well, I mean, fresh.
Okay. Well, if you get stuck, we can work on it. We're going to talk about details as we go. So first just try out the steps, and then we'll make it better as we go. Okay, guys, let's talk about some more details here. Gregory, I'll borrow you. Can I borrow that? Thank you. So there's an important detail that you start off with the thrust. In bojutsu, there's different ways of thrusting, and you can do it from this grip, right? This overhand grip. But you also can do it from this grip, this underhand grip. And this is more yari jutsu style. Okay, with a yari, you have this underhand grip. So that way, if the swordsman hits the tip of your spear, it's hard for him to knock it out of your hand. If you had your hand this way and he hits the tip of your spear, it's easy for him to maybe knock it out of your hand. This way it's more stable. Okay, so in this particular kata, we're doing it underhand like this, and it sets up each move. Okay, so as I'm going here with Gregory, I'm starting with my Bofurigata, and as I come around on this side, I have this underhand grip. Okay, I paused here so you guys could see that, and this is where my thrust happens. So you see this position is much like Yari Jutsu, okay, this spearing action, and it's very stable. If Gregory hits the crap out of this, it's not going to go anywhere. Okay, it's really stable.
Do that one more time so I can see the transition of it.
So I'm doing the Bofuri here, underhand thrust, okay. So that sets up the next pieces of this, a little bit over here. So after my thrust and he blocks, right, I come back, I keep this in this underhand grip to do this strike. So if we switch sides, I do my thrust, he blocks. This stays in this underhand grip for this piece. Okay? So then the next piece, it's still in the underhand grip as I scoop it up. Okay? That's important. So I'm here, I bring it to this underhand grip where I can hit up under kote and then pivot down this way. Okay? So this underhand grip plays a big role in setting each piece up. All right? That's kind of a hidden little thing here in this kata that's important to know about.
Okay.
So, bofuri here, underhand. Okay, stays underhand. Kasumi, underhand. Okay, so this underhand part that you start out with for the thrust really sets everything up after that. So it's an important detail. Okay, so please check that piece out and pay attention to it as you move through the kata to see what it does for you. The other night we were talking about something that I studied with Sensei in Japan recently, and it's this concept of chikara nuku. And this idea, if just to explain it, I wrote about it on my blog, but if Jesse and I are holding this stick, right, and we're both pulling, and I let go, that sends Jesse flying, right? Just me letting go. So it's like I'm using power to tug, and then I release the power, which chikara nuku, that's one of the translations. You're releasing the power, or dropping the power out of something. Okay, so you can do that in this kata as well, and it creates some really good results for you. So as we're doing our bofuri here, and I thrust, there's some tension here in this block. So if I drop my power out, you see what happens. Okay, over here, Jesse. So I'm doing my bofuri here. I do the thrust. There's tension in this block, and I drop the power out of the block, out of the tension, and it creates an opening for me, or a gap for me to be able to strike. Okay, this is an important detail throughout this kata. Let's look at it some more. So as I'm doing the bofuri here and I thrust, I create this tension, drop it out, strike. Okay, and then the next one, strike. The last one, strike. So if the first one doesn't get him, one of the others will. Yeah. So using this concept of chikara nuku, it makes the other guy defeat himself. It helps him to. It helps you to have him open up suki, or openings on his body. Okay, it exposes things for you. Once more. So I can thrust here. There's this tension. Now I release the tension to get to this kote. Bam. Okay. This is an important detail throughout the Bujinkan, and Sensei uses it all the time. Over the years, I've seen him using it a lot, but I never heard what he called it until this last trip when I was over there a few weeks ago. He was saying chikara nuku. Okay, so that's how he kind of describes this idea. Okay, it's a very important idea to use in your training. So everybody try it, especially with this first thrust, but you can put it at any place in the kata. So there's a variety of ways to do this this last strike, which is kind of the finishing move of the technique. So when we're doing the bofuri gata here, I do my thrust, hit to kasumi up here, this ashibarai here, leading into the kote, and then I from here, once again, I lift this up, and it's kind of goes into this tenchi position, heaven and earth. Okay, so once more. So here I do my thrust, hit up to kasumi, ashiburai, let this go up to this tenchi position, and then I'm going to pivot around it and let it drop down. Okay, so I'm standing here with this staff, and I let my body pivot around it, and it falls. Okay, that's one version. There's some more variations on this strike. Another one. So, do my thrust, hit to kasumi up here, ashiburai here, bam! Okay, this is another variation where you strike like you're doing jodan strike. Okay, this is good because it gives you more range. Okay, if you're worried about his sword still, maybe you didn't disable him or disarm him yet, this kind of strike gives you more range. James over here. So here, do my thrust, do to kasumi, ashiburai, up, bam. Okay, so you see this is just like daijodan, straight down. No, it wouldn't be called that. So here, thrust, hit to kasumi, come up, straight down. Okay. I'm kind of holding back to be safe, but in reality, you're coming straight down onto his head or his shoulder. Yeah, this, if you struck to the shoulder, would break the collarbone. Yep. Okay, so it's a pretty mean strike. Yeah. So, there's one more we can look at. This is the one I saw Sensei do. So, doing bofuri here, thrust, up to kasumi, strike in here, and then you switch this hand, bam, and strike this way. So this ends up being a one-handed strike. Once more. So come this way, thrust, strike to kasumi, come up. Okay. That again is hitting into kasumi. All right. I choked up on it a little bit to be safer to James, but in reality what you would do is from this position you would come down and just slam it, okay? You would let gravity help you.
Still to consume.
Yeah, that area. Or if he's still holding the sword, maybe kote. You know, you do a lot of this kind of thing, you know, and it's difficult for him to deal with, right? That's how yari is used against a sword a lot of times. So this kata will change depending on the weapon you're holding. All right. So as I'm spinning here with my bofuri, right, I thrust, but I want to make sure I'm thrusting with the tip of the yari. Obviously, I don't want to be thrusting with the butt end of it. It'll still work, it's just not as effective. Okay? So I spin here and then thrust this way.
I want a good foundation. I sink in it. He's stabbing me. Oh, sorry.
So when you're doing this thrust, the distance is really crucial because you're still in danger. All right? So after, when I'm doing this technique here, through the whole thing, distance is very important. So when I thrust here, I want to be out of the way of his sword. If I'm too close like this, I'm in a lot of danger. So I need to be here. So Jesse has to actually step to get to me. Yeah. The next strike to kasumi, same thing. I want to be out at this range where he has to kind of reach to get to me. Okay, I don't want to be in here because this is deadly for me. All right. So I need to be out at this range. When I go for this sweep, same thing. I'm way out here. Okay, I don't want to be in here because he'll stab me or cut me really easily. Okay, So on the thrust, the same thing applies. When you do this ski at the end, you want also to have that range. So here we go. So I do this ski, this one, drop in here. You see how far away I am from Jesse? So I do this thrust here, up here to Kasumi, this strike. You see how far away I am from Jesse when I do that. Okay, spinning again with the yari, right, and thrust. Strike to Kasumi. Come up through the middle and just spear.
Ashibarai, and then...
This is something I learned from Sensei a long time ago, and it's pretty useful because it's much easier to aim for this big target than that small target there. Okay? So you aim here and it naturally just goes to the throat. So if you're going to kill somebody, that's what you do. Please don't do it.